You need to hear this if you're a history fan. Let's be real, you probably wouldn't last a day in ancient Rome. Today we're diving headfirst into the gloriously gruesome, fascinatingly filthy world of ancient Rome. Buckle up as we explore everything from the sweltering heat to the unique hygiene practices that might make you swear off public baths forever. Get ready to face the reality of this ancient civilization, where life was a delicate dance between awe-inspiring achievements and trying not to die from a toothache. Trust me, by the time we're done, you'll be kissing your air conditioner and thanking the gods for modern plumbing. Okay, first up, let's talk about the weather. Imagine a world without air conditioning, fans, or even that sweet, sweet cross breeze from an open window. Now picture yourself in the heart of the Roman Empire, where summers were notoriously brutal. We're talking scorching temperatures, often reaching well into the 90s, even hundreds Fahrenheit. And forget about escaping to a cool basement. Most Roman buildings were designed to trap heat. So unless you were lucky enough to snag a villa by the coast, you were basically stuck sweating it out with the rest of the population. Yeah, not exactly the ideal climate for someone used to modern comforts. Now let's talk healthcare, or rather, the distinct lack thereof. In ancient Rome, a simple cold could turn into a death sentence faster than you can say veni vidi vici. Antibiotics, forget it. Painkillers stronger than willow bark? Dream on. Surgeries were often performed without anesthesia, and hygiene practices, even for doctors, were, let's just say, questionable. Imagine getting a paper cut and having to rely on herbs and prayers to avoid a gruesome infection. Suddenly that copay for antibiotics doesn't seem so bad, does it? I will never look at laundry the same way after learning this. Alright, let's lighten the mood a bit and talk about some of the, shall we say, interesting customs and traditions of ancient Rome. These customs might make you cringe, but they also offer a fascinating glimpse into the daily lives of Romans. First up, we've got the ever-popular practice of using urine to clean clothes. Yes, you heard that right. In ancient Rome, urine was collected in public urinals and then used by fullers, the professional cleaners of the time, to wash garments. Urine was considered a surprisingly effective cleaning agent thanks to its ammonia content, which helped to remove stains and whiten fabrics. Imagine the smell though. It was a common sight to see fullers stomping on clothes in large vats of urine to get them clean. So next time you're complaining about folding laundry, just be grateful you're not scrubbing your toga in a vat of pee. The Romans might have had some effective cleaning methods, but they certainly weren't the most pleasant. And speaking of hygiene, let's not forget the infamous Roman vomitoriums. These are often misunderstood, so let's clear up the confusion. Contrary to popular belief, these weren't rooms for post-feast purging. Instead, they were cleverly designed entryways to stadiums and theaters. The term vomitorium comes from the Latin word vomere, meaning to spew forth, referring to how these passageways would quickly expel crowds into the seating areas. But hey, at least they had a system for dealing with large crowds, right? These vomitoriums allowed for efficient crowd control, ensuring that people could enter and exit the venues quickly and safely. So, while the name might be misleading, the function was quite practical. Okay, let's get real about living conditions in ancient Rome. If you weren't part of the elite, chances are your dwelling was, well, less than luxurious. We're talking cramped quarters, often shared with multiple families, limited ventilation, and, in many cases, no indoor plumbing. Forget about relaxing in a bubble bath after a long day. Most Romans relied on public bathhouses, which, while impressive in their architecture, could be crowded, chaotic, and, dare I say, a bit smelly. Yeah, those noise-canceling headphones are starting to sound pretty good right now, aren't they? Alright, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the gladiators in the Colosseum. Roman entertainment was, to put it mildly, intense. Gladiator games were all the rage, pitting skilled warriors against each other and often against wild animals in brutal battles to the death. The crowds roared, the blood flowed, and it was all considered a perfectly normal way to spend an afternoon. So while we might binge-watch violent TV shows today, at least we're not cheering on actual bloodshed. And speaking of entertainment, let's not forget the chariot races. These high-speed competitions were just as dangerous as they were thrilling, with drivers risking life and limb for a shot at glory. Now, let's delve into the treacherous world of Roman politics, a realm where ambition and danger walked hand in hand. Imagine a world where emperors rose and fell faster than you could keep track, where assassination was a legitimate political strategy, and where even the most powerful individuals lived in constant fear of conspiracies and betrayals. It was a time when trust was a rare commodity, and alliances were as fragile as glass. Roman history is a wild ride of power struggles, backstabbing, and well, just plain old murder. The gladiatorial games were not just entertainment, but a reflection of the brutal and competitive nature of Roman society. Political figures often found themselves in heated arguments, their fates hanging by a thread. So, while we might complain about our current political climate, at least we can engage in debates without fearing for our lives. Today, political assemblies are generally peaceful, and the rule of law prevails, allowing for civil discourse and democratic processes. And speaking of power, let's not forget the role of the Roman Senate. This body of lawmakers wielded immense influence, shaping the destiny of the empire through their decisions and debates. This esteemed group of lawmakers might seem like a model of democracy, but in reality, it was often riddled with corruption, bribery, and power plays. Senators would offer bribes to secure votes, and political discussions were frequently marred by ulterior motives and hidden agendas. The Senate was a microcosm of the larger political landscape, where power was the ultimate currency. Exposing the truth in ancient Roman cuisine. Alright, let's talk food, or rather what passed for food in ancient Rome. While the wealthy Romans enjoyed lavish feasts with exotic delicacies, the average citizen had a much more, shall we say, limited diet. We're talking staples like bread, porridge, and vegetables, often supplemented with whatever could be foraged or hunted. And don't even get me started on garum, the infamous fermented fish sauce that was a Roman staple. Imagine a condiment so pungent, so overpowering, that it could clear a room faster than a chariot race. Yeah, suddenly that bland salad doesn't seem so bad, does it? I don't think people understand just how pungent ancient Rome really was. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather the stench that permeated ancient Rome. In a world without modern plumbing, sanitation was, to put it mildly, lacking. We're talking chamber pots emptied into the streets, open sewers overflowing with waste, and a general lack of hygiene that would make even the most tolerant nose wrinkle in disgust. And if you thought city smells were bad now, imagine the olfactory assault of ancient Rome, where the air was thick with the aroma of sweat, sewage, and yes, even more garum. Yeah, suddenly that air freshener doesn't seem so excessive, does it? I bet you didn't know how tough life was without modern amenities. Let's talk about the lack of modern amenities in ancient Rome. Imagine a world without electricity, running water, or, gasp, the internet. No smartphones, no laptops, no Netflix and chill. Just you, the sounds of the city, and the ever-present threat of dysentery. How would you survive? What would you do with all that free time? Would you finally finish that novel you've been meaning to write? Or would you simply succumb to the boredom and despair? It's a terrifying thought, isn't it? And finally, let's talk about the wild side of ancient Rome. Imagine a world where wild animals roamed freely, where a simple walk in the woods could turn into a fight for survival, and where even your home wasn't safe from the threat of venomous snakes and disease-carrying rats. From ferocious wolves to deadly vipers, the natural world was both a source of wonder and a constant danger to the ancient Romans. And let's not forget about the pests. Fleas, lice, and other creepy crawlies were constant companions, making life itchy, uncomfortable, and in some cases, deadly. Yeah, suddenly that mosquito bite doesn't seem so bad, does it? So, there you have it, folks. We've taken a brief yet fascinating journey back in time to ancient Rome, a glimpse into the realities of life in ancient Rome, a civilization that has left an indelible mark on history. From the sweltering heat and questionable hygiene to the brutal entertainment and ever-present threat of disease, it's safe to say that most of us wouldn't last a day in this ancient civilization. Imagine walking those cobblestone streets, surrounded by the hustle and bustle of Roman life, where every corner held a new surprise or danger. But hey, at least they had gladiators, right? These fierce warriors were the superstars of their time, captivating audiences with their strength and bravery. All jokes aside, exploring the past allows us to appreciate how far we've come and to marvel at the resilience of the human spirit. The ruins and artifacts we uncover today tell stories of innovation, struggle, and triumph. So the next time you're feeling grateful for indoor plumbing or the invention of air conditioning, give a little nod to the ancient Romans. Their engineering feats like the aqueducts were nothing short of revolutionary, and laid the groundwork for many modern conveniences we enjoy today. They might not have had it easy, but they certainly knew how to make history. Their architectural marvels, from the Colosseum to the Pantheon, continue to inspire awe and admiration. And probably some pretty questionable hygiene choices. Bathhouses were a central part of Roman life, but their understanding of cleanliness was quite different from ours. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating journeys into the past. Your support helps us bring more historical adventures to life. And be sure to share your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your insights and questions about history. Would you have survived in ancient Rome? Let me know. Imagine yourself in a toga navigating the complexities of Roman society. Could you handle the challenges and embrace the culture? Share your thoughts.